This video will walk you through a visualization tool designed to let you explore CTIC's OpTIS dataset in a flexible and interactive way. The new CTIC OpTIS webpage allows you to interact with two different measurements from the OpTIS dataset: acreage and conservation tillage, and acreage and cover crop practices. On the left-hand panel, the web tool presents the four buckets of tillage information in the OpTIS data: conventional tillage, reduced tillage, in which 15 to 30% of the field surface is covered with crop residue after planting; reduced tillage high residue, in which 30 to 50% of the field surface is covered with crop residue; and no-till, in which 50% or more of the field is covered. It's important to understand here that the map illustrates the sum of reduced tillage high residue plus no-till, which is collectively called conservation tillage, divided by the total number of cropland acres in each spatial unit and averaged across years. Meanwhile, the trend chart below the map illustrates the percent adoption for each one of the four tillage methods. On the right-hand panel, the web tool presents acreage in cover crops, perennials, and winter commodity crops. Here, the map illustrates only the cover crop data, showing acres in cover crop divided by the total number of acres in the spatial unit and averaged across years. Meanwhile, the trend chart below illustrates the percent adoption for all three of the cover crop types in OpTIS. Both the tillage and cover crop data are available in both Crop Reporting District and HUC 8 watershed geographical delineations. You may switch between these geographic delineations at any time by using the CRD and HUC 8 buttons above the visualization. Please note that the tillage and cover crop dashboards are independent. Filtering or clicking on one will not affect the other in any way. Now we will focus on the visualization of conservation tillage by Crop Reporting District to demonstrate all the ways you can interact with the OpTIS data. The same behaviors hold true for the cover crop data and for when the visualization tool is in HUC 8 mode. To make things easier to see, we'll click on the full screen option on the Tableau ribbon. You can use the Escape key to return to your browser at any time, but we'll stay in full screen mode for the remainder of this demo. The top element of each visualization is the Year slider selector. This element allows you to select data between the lower bound and upper bound of the slider. The slider defaults to select the entire range of OpTIS data between the earliest year, 2005, and the most recent, 2018. You can see that the data in both the map and the trend chart changes as the slider is moved. If you'd like to reset the slider at any time, click on the Reset button in the Tableau ribbon at the bottom of the tool. The first way to interact with a map is to hover over any geographical area and observe the contents of the tooltip. Hovering your cursor over an area will display detailed information about the conservation tillage or cover crop data for that area. The second way to interact with a map is to click on a region. When you click on a region, you'll notice that the color of the rest of the regions will fade, and the data in the trend chart will be filtered to display only the data for the selected region. It is possible to select data for multiple regions at once. You may hold the Control button while clicking on multiple regions, or you may use the rectangle, radial, or lasso area selector tools. Clicking anywhere on the map outside the data area will clear your selections, or you may click on the Reset button on the Tableau ribbon as before. Hovering over the trend chart area will show you the percent of row crop acres using a given tillage method. Clicking on the trend area will highlight the selected tillage method, but will not affect the map area. Finally, this tool allows you to download the OpTIS data in several formats. If you find a view that you like, you may download it as a static image, PDF, or PowerPoint. If you first click on either the map or the trend chart, you may also download the raw data using the Data or Crosstab options, which will both allow you to download a CSV file that you can manipulate in Excel. You will have the option to grab either the full dataset or just the data for the map units you've selected. You may also download the data in Tableau workbook format. If you install the Tableau Public or Tableau Desktop software on your computer, you may interact with and even edit the visualizations. Thank you for your interest in the OpTIS data. and we welcome you to visit the URL on screen and try out the tool for yourself.